Intensifying over the bathrooms in your kids' schools.
Well, Republican state lawmakers, they're now looking to set boundaries over which restrooms your children can use. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Kassour said Morris Brandon Elementary in Northwest Atlanta after speaking to groups already vowing to fight back.
There's a bill in the State House that would require all female and all male restrooms, changing rooms, and showers. If a student is transgender, they'd have their own room. Representative Josh Bonner says his bill is limited to elementary and middle schools.
It is a reaction to what parents across the state are asking for. It's a concern of theirs.
According to a report from the education nonprofit, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, nearly 3/4 of transgender students in Georgia report they're unable to use the school bathroom aligned with their gender.
If there's a child in a school who is confused about their identity, it allows them a specific space that they can go into that is separate from the girls' room or the boys' room.
Georgia Teacher of the Year Tracy Nance says the bill sends a bad message to students.
People think that our kids aren't listening and they're not aware. They are very much aware. And when we put resources into things like separate, bathrooms, it's really trying to point out a problem that's not there.
Groups opposing the bill are readying their response when the Education Committee holds a hearing, likely next week.
Listening to our kids, they are beautiful and they are 100% accepting. Hatred, discrimination, prejudice, those things are taught. Our kids are watching.
The bill includes shared spaces on field trips. In Buckhead, I'm Abby Kassour.
Tonight.